Hello, this is Mr. Mola for lesson 4-6, arithmetic sequences. Alright, so you might remember this from last year. There's two kind of sequences that we're going to study with algebra. So one is arithmetic and one is geometric. Okay, and the big difference is how they are defined as sequences. So arithmetic sequences have to be where you're adding or subtracting the same amount every single time. Okay, so even though it could be a sequence, there could be a pattern to it. If it's not adding or subtracting the same amount every time, then it's not going to be a sequence. So some of the homework problems will literally ask you, is this a sequence? You say yes or no. If it's no, then you're done. If you say yes, then you have to say what the pattern is. Okay, so even though it might be a sequence, like, 5, 10, 20, 40, 80, all those are doubling. Yeah, there's a pattern there. There's a sequence there, but it's not an adding pattern. So it's not going to count as as an arithmetic sequence. Okay? And when we're talking about it, we're going to talk about the common difference or the constant difference. So what's going on to each term that's going to be the same. So adding 0.2 here would be the common difference. So same thing here, going from 7 to 11 to 15, and then what would my next four terms be? So it looks like I'm going from 7 to 11, I'm adding 4, to 15, I'm adding another 4, so I'd be at 19 then, and then to 23, and then from 23 to 27, 27 to 31. So we should look at the numbers below, see if we can find a common difference, and then use that to find the next few terms. All right, looks like here we're adding -2, so now I should get a -10, a -12, a -14, and a -16. Oh, the eraser wants to work there. And then here it looks like I am adding a -8 or subtracting 8, so then it'd be -1 to -9 to -17 to -25 to -33. Here when it says D, it's asking for the difference again. So it looks like from 9 to 13 to 17 to 21, I'm adding 4. From 10 to 8 to 5 to 1, it looks like there's no difference. It looks like I'm going from 2 to 3 to 4. Well, we can't do that. So we're just going to say, no, it's not an arithmetic sequence, and then we're done with the problem. Going back to this one, it said if it was, we need to figure out what the next couple numbers are. So we should get 25, 29, and 33. Okay. Then there's something called the nth term. Okay. So when we're trying to find, what the pattern's going to be, but we don't want to write out all those numbers. If we're trying to find the 7th term, yeah, we can do the math and, figure out that, hey, these are going up by 4 each time. We can add to 4 and find the 7th term. Yeah, we can even do the work and try to find the 10th term there too. But we're not going to want to do all that work and find the 50th term. That's going to be a lot of adding for us to do. So there's this formula that helps us find what we call the nth term. And really, n is just a variable there. So we're just finding what number term, whatever the problem is. So we'll use this no matter what. If we're trying to find the 4th term, the 5th term, or the 100th term, we're going to use this formula for finding the nth term. Okay, and so it's really the nth term equals the first term plus, in parentheses, the n, so what term we're trying to find. So if it said find the 50th term, and then -1, and then times the difference. So if we're doing that here, we have our first term is a1, we have our difference is 9, so then if we plug that into the formula, so a1 would be 6, the difference would be 9, whoops, and we're going to try and find those first 5 terms for this one. So we would just go 6, 15, 24, 33, 42. Same thing here, if we're starting with a1 and our difference is 4, well, we're going to be adding 4 every time, so going from -60 to -56 to -52 to -48 to -44. So basically our steps are to find a1, find the difference, plug them in, and then solve. Okay, so let's do one where we're given a number like that. So if I wanted to find one like this, I'm trying to find the 25th term here. Okay, so my A1 is -5, whoops, plus my N, so it's going to be 25. I'm trying to find the 25th term. My difference is I'm subtracting -2 each time. This is a perfect situation where I'm probably not going to want to do all that math, starting at -5 and subtracting -2 25 times to figure that out. So let's simplify this. So -5 plus 24 times -2 is going to be -5 plus a -48. Let's put these in parentheses. Is going to equal a -53. Okay, so if I'm starting at -5 and I subtract 2 until I get to the 25th term, I'm going to end up at -53. So a lot easier to plug it in here than to go -5, -7, -9, -11, -13, -15, all those numbers all the way down until you get to -53. Same thing on this other side here, A1, so I'm starting with 11, that's my first term, plus, it wants me to find the 60th term now, so 60 minus 1, and then times my D, which it doesn't give me this time, but I can see that it's 11 to 5. I am subtracting 6. So that's going to be a pretty big number here. So 11 plus 59 times a -6. And 59 times a -6 is going to be 354. So -354, which will then equal -343. So again, if I'm starting at 11 and going down 6 every time, by the time I get to that 60th term, it's going to be -343.